What is going on, my friends? Welcome to a little underwater episode here. I'm at this really cool spot where there's some old concrete and a ton of fish of all types are hanging out here. I have here some pieces of bait. You can see that's like a half of a mouth of a tuna, I believe. And it's the scraps that restaurants and stuff cannot sell. And so they put them in a pack and sell it to fishermen. So I thought I'd put some of those chunks on the bottom, see what comes along to take a bite. Let's do it. All right, so I took a piece of, I think it's a tuna, some sort of deep ocean water fish like that. I think this is near the gills, but it had quite a bit of meat on it. So I put it out, and before long had my first customer who's really, really fast. Let's replay that. Look how fast the snapper shoots over. Wow. The speed of all fish, and even things like turtles and stuff like that, always amazes me, because usually they just swim around at kind of a normal slow speed. But when they want to move, it is 0 to 60 in no time. And before long, had a whole bunch of these little snapper gathered around. Then the needlefish started swimming over, and they seemed interested, but needlefish kind of stay above the fray. They aren't super combative. On the other hand, crabs are extremely combative and just kind of bullies, you know, underwater. They remind me of kind of just greedy bully creatures. There's just basically they're kind of like the thugs, they seem like, of the ocean floor. And you don't want to get too many of them in one area, because then fights break out. But that is what started happening here. Now we have 3 of them on it, and I sense a little tension building. And you know, each of them has what's akin to boxing gloves on, so you know what's going to happen. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have a fight on our hands. The 2 welterweight blue crabs going at it. But what's this? A 3rd blue crab jumps in the ring, starts beating up the snapper, bullying the other crabs. It is insane. Whew. But the rest of it's only available on pay-per-view, so I decided not to watch the rest. Found this little blue crab hiding in the sand. We'll have to get back to that another time. I decided to move the bait a little closer, added some to it. Those pieces look like they're maybe from a tuna or a wahoo. That looks like near the tail maybe of a wahoo or tuna there. And when I put it out in a little bit deeper water, expecting some different fish, I just got the snapper coming over again. But they seem to absolutely love it. Check out that one right there. He's just holding it in his mouth. He's probably never tasted anything like this. It's incredible. Dig off a chunk like that. Besides snapper and some of just those usual fish, I didn't really get anything interesting to come over in the deep water, so I decided to move it close to the concrete wall there. And there are other concrete slabs laying around. I thought if I could get something to come out from there, because you never know when you do this what could come out from under rocks or from out of the weeds or whatever. And sure enough, here comes a moray eel. Taking a look at it, but then it backed off, which is interesting how timid it was. Maybe it thought it was a trap. I may have walked by right then too, and scared him away. In fact, I think that was the moment that I walked by and scared him a little bit, because I was walking back and forth on the beach. He finally came back out, grabbed on, and tore just a small piece off, which was surprising, because I kind of thought it would take the whole thing away. Like, they've done that in the past on this channel. But this little crab comes along instead, works on that bottom piece, and hauls it off, leaving the eel with just that little top piece, which it did not come back for. So I thought, you know what? Let's try out toward the deeper water, toward the deeper ledge a little bit. And so I moved it out to here, thinking I could get some bigger crabs and bigger fish to come along. Looking out over the ledge was pretty cool. And check out in the background there, a huge barracuda. And that thing looks giant. That was really neat. And then a first blue crabs comes out of the sand. You can see the sand still falling off of his shell as he's eating on it. And then check out the barracuda cruises by again. Isn't that so cool? They look menacing even from far away. But besides this little white crab and the barracuda, nothing else came along. So I decided to switch it up again. All right, my friends, I've come to this point here. I'm gonna try it out in a little bit deeper water just for a little bit. And I have a piece of bait here that is unusual. Check it out. This is a cut of tarpon near the belly. Has a whole bunch of junk attached to it. And let's see what comes along to take this piece. I took the meat off the top there, and this is the rib cage and a whole bunch of the belly. Let's see what grabs this. So within just a minute or two of the bait being down there, this cool looking crab found it. I don't even know what kind of crab this is, but it looks a lot like a rock, especially when it folds its little claws in. And when it buries itself in the sand, it really blends in. You wouldn't even know it was there. I went and found a rock to stick on top of the tarpon fillet, and that's how fast that little crab found it. I think he ate his fill and really enjoyed it, but the fish did not. In fact, that fish swims by. A houndfish comes over to take a look at it. You would think it would tear off a chunk, but it didn't. You see a tiny little crab on it there. And then finally, this big stingray comes over. It's like, okay, the stingray is taking a bite right here. It's probably going to carry the whole thing away. This is a very large stingray, by the way, because that's a big rock I had, and that stingray dwarfs the rock. But it's like it got scared of the camera there. Like, whoa, what are you doing here? And then this stingray circles back around to have another bite, but then decides against it. This totally surprised me. I thought the stingray would have no hesitation about carrying it off. The fillet of tarpon was still good. It's not like I had left it out in the sun or anything like that. I kept it in a cooler. And the more the stingray circles by, the more it just ignores it. It's almost like it kind of wanted to like it, but refused to eat it. And that was all the action I had on the tarpon fillet. So I don't know if fish don't like tarpon or there was something wrong with it. Not really sure, but it was a really fun experiment. Anyway, I really love doing these videos. If you guys enjoyed them, please click on the screen there to watch the next episode and subscribe if you're new. See you guys in the next one.